The one thing I keep hearing as I explore building my own app and listening and talking to and reading about people who've successfully done it is to build in public. They all say build in public, don't hide what you're doing behind some wall and go for a big reveal. Share it along the way, let people get excited with you, let people give you feedback, let people start using it along the way. So I've been trying to do better at that. And this is another step in that direction to start doing some video log updates, some vlog updates. My app is just a calorie counting app. My point of view on this, I have a pretty strong point of view. Um, so I gained about 30 pounds over COVID and I lost it using this point of view, which is just basically that your body has a default burn rate. So for mine, it's about 2,150. How I got to this is another problem for another time. But if I don't work out, if I'm just, working at the computer and I go on a couple walks and etc., this is about what my body burns most days. And my perspective is just basically that I wanted to reduce that number. I wanted to reduce the amount of food that I was eating to be less than this by 400 calories. So I set myself a calorie budget of 1,750 calories. And what I would do, my point of view is just basically like if I eat something, I'm going to subtract it from this. So it's very simple, right? So I eat something, it's 200 calories. I eat something that's 30 calories. I'm just going to continue to subtract them from here. And, I just be looking at labels from food, or I might be, doing searching it online, or I might be just like doing a chat GPT search, whatever it might be. But I would just be finding those numbers and putting them in. And at any point I could just look back and see like, oh, what's my calorie budget for the day? So what is that, like 1420? Right. So I could just be like, I have 1,420 calories left that I can eat today. And that's a different feeling if it's, 10 a.m. versus if it's 5 p.m. Right. So it was just really helpful for me to get to see that number as I moved along through the day. And one of the challenges that I had in this is that I'm like, I'm working out. I want to get healthy. I don't just want to lose weight. I want to get healthier. Now, if I had just worked out without addressing it here, it would have been like, okay, well, I had 14,000 or 1,420 calories left in my budget today, but now I'm so hungry because I just ran 2 miles or I just ran 3 miles, right? And so I wanted to be really conscious of my mental discipline in this and what would actually work for me and keep me on track with the budgeting. And so from my point of view, I just said, you know what? If I run 2 miles, that's maybe 220 calories. I just want those back. I'm going to add those back into my budget. And this is basically like a boost. So now I get to eat 220 more calories that I would not have been able to eat otherwise, right? And for me, as somebody who loves to eat, this worked super well. And so I just started looking at exercise as a boost. So now suddenly, I have 1,620 calories to eat, and I can have a huge, huge ass dinner, and I can go have a couple beers afterwards, like whatever I want to do. If it's 5 o'clock and I have this much left, then that's great. Or if it's noon and I have this much left, I can go have a great lunch, right? So it starts to bring things into perspective and makes things just a lot more reasonable, and also gave me a lot more motivation to work out. So that's basically my point of view behind it. And so what we're looking at, oh, I should add that if you look at all this, right, this is basically it's budgeting, right? So I have my allowance, or my daily goal, and then I have my ledger here. And so I just started using this internally in my head as like basically a budgeting app. So I'm not necessarily going to call it that, but you can see we've got our little ledger here, and we just use it to set our daily calorie goals. So 1,750, but if I wanted this to be 800, I could easily set that. And then everything I eat, I'm just going to log against it. So, like I just had one of these peanut butter and honey Uncrustables. It's 200 calories. So, honey Uncrustable, 200 calories, done. Right. And that's against just subtracts it. Now I know how much I have left to eat in the day. And let's say I exercise, let's say I went for a 2 mile run. I didn't, but let's say I did. I know from experience, it's about 220 calories for me. These calculations, we're going to integrate how you get these calculations into the app. But for now, I did that wrong, right? That was supposed to be a burn, not a intake, right? So a 2 mile run, 220 burn. Now that shows up here, it's purple because it's a little bit of a boost. I'm not so sure about, like none of this layout is even close to final. So we have edit, delete functionality, right? Well, we also have this back and forth, so I can toss something back to yesterday if I want. So this goes to yesterday, or I can push it to tomorrow. This was something that even in just a little testing, people want it right away. I wanted it right away. And then in the people I've shared this with, they wanted to use it right away as well. I've also got a feedback form because I want people to just be able to give feedback like right away as soon as possible. You can log in using Google Login. I'm not going to show that. But this is where it's at today. I have some other features that I plan to use to enrich it, some stuff. I mean, this is my third iteration on this. I've had to scrap it twice and completely rebuild it because I learned things. I'm pretty confident in this code base right now that it's something I can really build on. But I have to start re-implementing some features. But anyway, I'll share that along the way. That's it for today. I'm excited.